So you want to get into lifting. Well, if you're anything like me a few years back, you probably have no idea what the fuck you're doing. You're probably trying to learn more, but there's just so much information out there that you don't know who to trust or what to believe, and you're just getting discouraged. Lucky for you, I divided this video up into 5 of the only tips you are going to need to know as a beginner lifter that I wish I knew way earlier. Before I list these 5 things though, I just want to know one thing. It takes a while to see any physical results in the gym. There's no easy way out. If you're not in it for the long run, you can go ahead and leave this video right now. Oh, and also if you do CrossFit, you can go ahead and leave too. I'll wait. Okay, now that we have only the dedicated people left, let's go ahead, cut the bullshit, and start this video. Alright, the first thing on the list is that you have to go to the gym consistently. I'm only going to say this one time, so you better get it through your thick fucking skull. If you're not going to the gym consistently, then there's no point in going to the gym at all. Bam, I said it. It's as simple as that. You have to give it your all when it comes to lifting. People always ask me things like,
I've been going to the gym for 2 and 3 months now, and I haven't seen any progress.
And then the first thing I ask them is, well, how many times do you go in a week? And they'll be like,
like 1 or 2 times.
Are we dead ass? Are we fucking serious right now? You said 1 to 2 times. What the fuck? You need to be going to the gym 5 to 6 times a week if you want to see any sort of physical results in the first few months of lifting. Another thing people tell me is that they don't have enough time to go to the gym, or that their work gets in the way. You know, some things are getting in the way. And while I know this can be true, right? You know, there are sometimes things, you know, life sometimes gets in the way, but 99% of these excuses are just fucking bullshit. Stop lying to yourself. If you don't want to go to the gym, then fucking stay small, don't go. These are the same people that spend hours a day scrolling through TikTok. Find a way to change your schedule and fit in the gym. Sheesh. All right, the second thing on the list is to find a split that fits you. If you think you can just go to the gym and do a random assortment of exercises each time you go and expect to see any muscle growth, you're wrong. If you don't know what a split is, it's basically a workout plan that tells you which muscles to hit on which day. Personally, I'm a push-pull legs enthusiast. What this split means is basically on Monday, I'll do push, which is working out my chest, my shoulders, and my triceps. The next day I'll do pull, which is working out your back and your biceps. And then the next day is legs, which works out your quads, your hamstrings, your calves, and sometimes your glutes. And then I'll cycle through this 2 times a week, so that means I'm going 6 times. And on the last day, I'll take a rest day. I'll get into that later. There are a few other splits you can do. I know there's the Arnold split. I've heard of a few others, but one thing I do advise is don't do a full body workout every time you go to the gym. You're just gonna waste a lot of energy and you're not gonna be able to isolate any muscles. It'll just be overall hard to see any muscle growth if you are doing a full body workout every time you go to the gym. I try to get around 10 to 12 working sets of exercises for each muscle group I work. There's gonna be a variety of different workouts for each muscle group. Obviously, like for chest, you got bench press, you got incline bench, you got chest flies, you got just a ton of things. That's just an example. I recommend experimenting with a few, just in the first few weeks when you start lifting, and then, you know, just see what you like the best, see what works for you. I have a certain few exercises I like to do. I have a split that I follow, and I'll put a link to that in the description down below. So the third tip is execution, or just like how to do your workouts in general. Your overall goal for lifting is going to be to tear down the muscle fibers so that you can build them back up stronger. What I'm trying to say basically is that you should be going as hard as you can each set so that you can work better to tear down the muscle fibers. So in essence, you should be training to pretty much failure in all of your sets. The reason I say pretty much failure is because you shouldn't be using every ounce of your fucking will to try and deadlift 400 pounds the first time you go to the gym. You're just going to break your back, and that is just an awful way to do that. You should never even try to do anything like that. I mean failure with relatively good form. You shouldn't be, you know, dying to get your last rep in, but you should be struggling very hard on your last rep. Another way to ensure that you're tearing down your muscle fibers properly is to utilize mind-muscle connection. What this basically means is that you're hitting a targeted muscle that you're trying to work instead of using all this energy to hit all these other muscles that you're not trying to work with a certain exercise. When I started lifting, I didn't utilize any of these techniques, and I wish I had started sooner. Now I usually do 2 to 3 sets of an exercise, and I go pretty much till failure, and I utilize mind muscle connection, and I've seen so many more results because of utilizing these few things. The fourth tip is gonna be eating. There's so much information out there for eating. I'm just gonna keep it short for you guys. I'll do another video down the line of just what I eat, and I'll show you guys all that, but for now I'm gonna keep it short. Eating goes hand in hand with lifting. It basically requires the same amount of self-discipline. I highly recommend counting your calories. That you can gain a lot of muscle without counting your calories, but I have found much more progress when I started tracking my calories. So I highly suggest that you do that. I use a certain app, it's called MyFitnessPal. I'm gonna put a link to that in the description as well. The way I see it, there are 3 different ways you can go about eating. You can go on a calorie surplus, which is known as a bulk. You can eat your maintenance calories, or you can go on a calorie deficit, which is called a cut. Again, I have a source I'm gonna put in the link in the description that'll tell you exactly what your maintenance calories are, and you can find out which best suits you. For new lifters, I recommend that you go on a calorie surplus to gain muscle before you eventually cut it all down and get the body you want. But if you just wanna stay on your maintenance calories and just kind of learn the ropes of lifting, that's perfectly fine too. Whatever you do, just don't cut when you start lifting. This is gonna be so much harder to gain any muscle, and you're just gonna be overall miserable every time you lift, and I just don't recommend this. Okay, regardless of what calorie intake you're doing, I recommend you stay on a high protein diet. I recommend trying to get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's what I do. All right, for the best foods, we got chicken, rice, beans, yogurt, beef, fish, just any kind of meat, protein bars, just basically any food with protein in it. Again, I'm just staying short on this subject. I'm gonna make another video that describes everything I eat. But yeah, feel free to do your own research on foods that have high protein. There are so many out there. One more thing I just wanna fit in this category are supplements. Everybody's kind of shaky about this subject, so I'm just gonna keep it short. Whey protein, good, I recommend. We got creatine, good, I recommend. Pre-workout, good, I recommend, and multivitamin, good, I recommend. Everything else, pretty much useless. Just don't even waste your time. All right, this brings us to the 5th and the final tip that you're gonna need, and that is rest. Resting is extremely important. Lifting requires a lot of energy, so it is very important to stay well rested and get enough sleep each night, not only so that your muscle fibers can be repaired and growing, but also so that you can just maintain your sanity and stay energized. By rest, I also mean just take 1 rest day a week. I know people who don't take rest days, but these are the same people that only go to the gym so they can stay mentally all right. Believe me, I've been there, but I've just found that overall a rest day is more beneficial than not taking one. Another big thing is that if you're physically hurt, or say you tweaked your back or something, but you want to go to the gym so that you can get your 6 days in, I highly recommend that you stay home, you don't go to the gym that day. I promise you that taking this day off is gonna help you so much more in the long run. So you'll be way happier if you just stayed home that day, trust me. And those are the only 5 tips you're gonna need if you're a beginner and you wanna start your lifting journey. If you utilize these 5 tips as a beginner, I know you'll make so much progress, so much more progress than I did when I started lifting. If you made it this far in the video, I'm genuinely impressed. I know the quality isn't great, but good job. If you found any of this information helpful, please consider subscribing. I spend so much effort making these videos, so it would actually mean the world to me if you just hit that 1 button. Anyways, that's all. Have a good day, and go to the gym.